Pretty flowers here. We're at another non-traditional place for showing art, the beauty salon Willets Alley in Birmingham, Michigan. And we're going to look at the work of Heather Williams. And see, I told you there's more flowers on the inside. But we've got something better. We've got the artist.
Hello.
And she's going to say a few words about her work.
Okay.
Why don't you talk about this one back there?
Okay. This is the first one I started with. And my whole basis for this body of work, I've made it during the winter. I was like, oh, everything is so gross outside and people are sad and grumpy, whatever. And I've been looking at little flower books and just random decorative art that kind of made me happy. So I was thinking I would start drawing flowers. I started them as an exercise to get myself drawing every day and keep the positive vibe going. And I came across this photograph of poppies, and the red was so intense, and I'm a color person. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be my subject matter for right now. So I got out my roll of paper and I was drawing, and I was finding that I was getting more and more interested as I was drawing. So the color like motivated me, and I was like, all right, this is cool. And it was like a blizzard outside, right? So I'm thinking springtime, I'm gonna make more of these. I'll have a nice show to cheer people up and to keep creating, because once you get out of school, you don't have class and teachers hounding you, so it's harder to motivate yourself to work. But this is my favorite. And then someone was talking to me about it, and they're like, you know, Georgia O'Keeffe did poppies, and I didn't at the time, but I was like, oh yeah, I've seen them, they're great. And I went online to look them up, and I'm just like, oh, she did, and they're awesome, but at least I didn't totally copy her, so it's okay.
She wouldn't have minded.
I don't think she would have cared. I like her interviews. But yeah, so this was the starting off point for all of the rest of them. And then my other paintings are kind of Dr. Seussy, trippy, whatever you want to call them. So I wanted to consciously make this work to figure out what is it about this particular subject matter that I'm going to make my own and tie in with the rest of it. So that was third. And that was when I was getting really loose with it. I had gotten better at doing the swooshes and the drawing, and I figured out my formula for making my colors the way I wanted them. And I named it like a snuffleupagus because the little flowers reminded me of that one in the movie Horton Hears a Who. And I'm thinking,
I like that
that's
movie.
kind of Dr. Seussy. And then I just straight up went to Sesame Street because I couldn't think of anything else. But those were actually the most fun, I think, because I was not under so much pressure. Oh my God, I'm having a show. I need to make more work. And
Isn't that wonderful? Just paint.
Yeah, just I was having my art for art's sake moment with this one, and I think it turned out well. I worked on it longer than all of the other ones because it was going to be my fun piece that I'm just making for myself.
I just love the fact that nowadays you can go anywhere and see art. It's not just a gallery, it's not just a museum. It's places such as beauty parlors and pubs and restaurants. And in a way, you know, it's we're all coming together to support each other.
Yeah. Hold each other up, bond together as a community of artists that would like to circulate ideas and feed off of each other.
I have no problem with having my work seen within situations like this. And, you know, it's wonderful. And I'm so glad. I love those brick walls, too.
Yeah.
You know, I just think this is wonderful.
This whole space, like, my boss designed with his brother. Like, they kept some stuff and renovated some things, but the overall look, he wanted it to feel gritty, to make it a little different, but still a little bit refined, so that people wouldn't think they were in a back alley and like some random mafia den, you know. So.
No, it's lovely back here. I think it's really classy. Yeah, I saw a show here before, the work of Matt Lewis, and I just wish I had been doing videos then because this way.
I heard that show is off the hook.
Oh, it was totally great. He's a wonderful painter, and I'm just so happy that I just ran into you today. I'm so happy.
I know, and I found out about Rick's opening by chance because I never read the Metro Times or Real Detroit because I live in Bloomfield Hills. You know, I read Birmingham, Bloomfield, whatever. And one of the other receptionists was like, dude, you need to read this. There's things and art happening. So I was like, all right, whatever. I pick one up. It's slow, and I'm like, oh my God, that's my teacher. I'm going to that. It's right in Birmingham. I work here. I'm going to come support him.
And you know what? It's good.
How cute.
He's no longer your teacher.
This is true.
Both of you have shows in
Colleague.
Birmingham. He's your colleague.
colleague.
We're talking about Rick Vian, whose work we just left at the Kid Gallery, which is awesome gallery.
It's weird to say it that way though, because they've
Why?
like whipped you into shape and taught you how to draw and knew you when your work was horrible. So.
And I'm really proud. This work is gorgeous. I mean, you really struggled
you.
in school and you came out on top. So I'm really, really pleased. I'm glad, really happy to see the scale of this work. But I gotta stop talking like a teacher.
I'm working big.
Yes.
Finally.
Well,
Though I do have some little ones hiding in my.
there are ones back there.
Studio.
But keep doing those. Oh, I gotta
These are
stop.
my favorite.
Yes. No, keep working big.
Definitely.
Well, I'm glad we did this. I'm getting ready to run out of battery.